So here we are on the farm in Whangaruru in New Zealand. My name's Jack, and these are a group of helping hands, friends from all over the world. Today we're going to be building cob, and this is a short introductory video on how to build cob. Here on the farm we're doing our own style, and we're going to talk you through why we're going to build with this and the process, and hopefully take you right through to the end. Right, the ingredients that you're going to need to make cob are clay, hay and water. Here on the farm we've managed to get our clay from a natural deposit which is found out the back, and we've been mining that for the last couple of days with the help from our volunteers and guests. And then the hay has been cut last summer and it's stored up in the hangar where it's been drying for the last year, and so its moisture content is very low. And then the water is coming from a bore which comes from a river system underneath the farm itself. Okay, so what we've been doing here is adding the water to the clay to get it nice and moist. Basically what you want to do is get a really nice moisture content so that you can add the straw. We want to test the clay content of it. So what I'm going to get you to do is to all pick some up in your hand and start rolling it around the ball, and I want you to make the best poo that you can. So just go for it, get involved. The poo test is a good way to test your clay content. If the clay holds together while you are holding it with your 2 fingers from the top, it's good for making cob. That is actually really quite strong, it's got a good tensile strength. Essentially, this is probably wet enough now, and as you can see that has got a really good clay content. So now we can start adding all the other materials. Okay, so here we have the hay. We're going to take large clumps like this, Rika, and just grab some out. Like we're fighting over a toy at Christmas. And so all of these divots here want to be filled completely with the hay. And I want you to shake it around, shake it around, shake it around, throw it around as hard as you can, throw it around there as much as you can. Now we've got enough hay on for this situation. It's got a nice covering. Just do the same process as what we've just done. Just start walking around on it, pushing it in. And basically what we have to remember is that the bottom will not be getting any fibres in it right now. But we're going to do it here with spades and turn it. And we're going to be basically playing with it. So we're going to be taking materials and adding them as we need. So at the moment, it looks not a bad consistency in terms of moisture. However, if we need more, we can obviously add more. And it's just taking that first step to mix it in and get it to a certain consistency. And then we can just add as we go. In a sense, on the farm here, it's completely free, which is great. We've managed to grab the clay, the hay, all of the water and the aggregate there completely for free. So actually, as a building material, this is perfect for a place like this. So we're here on a sustainable farm, and that's part of the ethos here, is that we want to do everything sustainably and without using fuels if we can. And how more natural can you get than the biggest bull on the farm and the biggest horse on the farm? Half a tonne each, spreading out the cob. And this is how they used to do it back in the day when they were building in Devon and Cornwall. They would take oxes or mules or whatever they had and just use the weight to spread it around.
And Jack, how long was it since you broke your collarbone?
It was approximately 3 weeks ago. Doing something very similar. Something stupid. Perfect. Anybody else for a go? $10 a go? So as nice as it is to use human power and animal power, we're lucky enough here on the farm to have an old Izeki tractor, which we're going to use to make the process more time efficient and more practical. basically, you're going to know when the cob's done when it becomes super tacky and it sort of attaches itself to the wheels of the tractor. Also, you can go and pick it up and you can feel the weight. You're going to be able to really visualise and see all of the hay connecting all of the different components together, and you're going to be able to really feel that strong bond.
So now what we can do is we can just continue doing this with the tractor. It gets to the point where it's too hard to be able to compact down to the bottom with the feet. So we're just going to continue doing this as we are until we get the right consistency. We're going to just keep testing it every now and then, rolling over the tractor, turning it, and eventually it'll come to the right consistency. And then what we can do with cob is leave it a while. We can all have lunch and we can come back, and then we can start learning about actually putting the cob on the plinth, start walking around on the walls, and then we can start paring off the cob. What we're doing right now is just sort of pushing this down and compacting it all. What we're going to do now is pare it. So now that we've got it to this stage and you can see it's quite flat, I've stamped it all down as you've just seen. See, what you need to do this are two tools. You need your pitchfork and you're going to need this paddle. All I've got is a piece of decking, cut it to a reasonable size, and then I've just cut a handle out with the circuit saw. Got a piece of 6x2, cut it to size, and what you really want is weight. You just want something that you can really get your weight behind. And then yeah, I've just nailed it back to it. And this is something that is a crucial tool. Without this, you'll be using a spade and you'll be going nowhere. So you really want to get yourself one of these from the farm website. The best place to do the paring is from the top, because you're going to need to push straight down. And so obviously, if you can imagine, I'm still on this here, quite central now. It's 300mm, and then maybe we're overhanging by at least 100mm this side. You can see it down there, so that's quite a long way in. So when you're paring, you just want to really go straight down, and you just want to keep following it down. You see that? See how it's pulled away, and then you just put it back on top, and you follow it down again. When you're pushing down with the pitchfork, you're getting all of these pieces of the hay to like push down into it and create this layer. And then what you want to do is take your paddle and do the same thing, just taking these motions of sort of like, it wants to be like this, getting it super compacted, getting it really hard. And you want to do the same with the top. And then what I can see here has happened is that actually that there, the plinth, is kind of a bit further out than the top, for example, here, yeah? You can see that? What you can't do is just take cob and chuck it here and smush it down, because it won't connect properly, it won't bind properly. So what you need to do, you have to really get a nice bond, or else it's going to be a place where it could be weak or it could crack. So, what you can do is make a massive hole in it, like so. And then you want to grab another cob. Start smacking it about into some sort of. Then the idea is you really want to get this end bit. See how it's holding together? It's like super strong. It's like all of these strands of the hay in here are holding this to that, and so you want to get this on the outside to basically be holding to something in there, and that's how it's going to be super strong. So you're taking the end, you want to make it into like a cone piece. And then you're just going to jam that in there as far as it'll go, and then you can smooth it off. Push it back down in, and down, and that's all connected. You see? Now we're getting some sort of flat surface. And then essentially, once we've done all of this, and we've got the whole thing straight, we've got it to the correct width, what we're going to do is, when it rains, what you don't want is it pooling, because once it does that, it allows the moisture to sit there and then bury itself into the cob. You want to have like a nice rounded top. We've got no gaps where the water can sit, and if it is going to get on the top, it's going to spread over the sides, and then it's not going to allow it to pull, and it's going to go off, and it's going to go super hard. And we're going to be able to put a plinth on it and then build the alkathene above that.
You see that, how it's pulling down and away rather than, and it's almost like pairing it off with the paddle as you go. So you really have to do much less. If it starts sagging under that weight at that height, it can be really difficult, especially once you've moved all the scaffolding, to be pairing it again and trying to fix it and things at that height. So this is sort of like the perfect time now to get another mix on in the morning and just continue on. Top tips that are actually going to help you: so make sure you got a good boots and hat, much like what I've got on right now. You want to have a nice plinth, and you're looking to be at least 300mm with your flashing or your roof itself, so that that's really allowing any driving rain or pouring rain off the roof to stay away from it, and it gives it a nice sort of shelter. Also, the next tip is that you're going to always want a bucket full of water with you. So getting water on the handles of the spades and things themselves is actually really annoying, so you want to be staying away from that where possible.
We're here on a nice sunny morning coming out the back of winter. As you can see, our cob has come a long way since when we filmed before, so it's been a couple of months now, and our cob has become part of a greenhouse project, as you can see, and this is the result of that. The cob, obviously, as you can see, is rock hard, and some of our friends here have done some light sort of artwork on the side of it there. They've painted some nice flowers and things, which is relevant to the greenhouse, but you can sort of do whatever you want. But it's looking quite nice at the moment in the sun. As you can see, the greenhouse has been a massive success, and the cob here has been very practical for that. Obviously, you can take the cob a lot higher, do it in different widths and use it for different purposes. We've got a lot of different stuff growing in here, and we're excited to see what's going to happen over the summer in the greenhouse. We've got some exciting projects going on in the pipeline here. We've got the farm shop, which will be ready for the summer season. And we're also finishing this interesting project to build Pippi a new doghouse. And it's lots of nice building techniques that are sustainable. So if you're interested to find out more, keep in touch.
Hay, clay and water.
Yeah,
Do I need to say it all at once, or can you cut that audio?
Would be nice if you just said one more
Maybe
time.
to say the whole thing all
Just
in
list it up, you know?
one thing.
Okay,
So,
alright.
so the ingredients
Yeah,
you
yeah,
need
yeah.
for making cob.
Ah, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Right. So the ingredients that you're going to need for making cob are clay, hay, and water. Let's go again. Just hay, say.
The ingredients that you're going to need for cob are clay, straw. Fuck off. Okay, right, yeah. The ingredients that you'll need to make cob are clay. Fuck off, God. Stop it. Right.
Marie, what's the plan now then? What's the protocol? What are we trying to do here?
We're trying to knead the clay and the hay with some more weight, and that's why we have horses and cows on the farm. Yeah, Frosty Boy, our bull, is about to have a proper look at the grass that we're having out here. He hasn't been on the track lately, but that's why Pascal is just like giving him a little tour back on the farm just to get used to his old room.
Is she giving him a tour or is he giving her a tour?
As it seems so far, I think he's taking the lead, but maybe they're just having a discussion and just figuring out a way how to do it.
Boy, you need a strong man.
Hello.
And we're going to be building a lot more structures that are just curvy and naturally following the landscape that are around us, beautiful rolling hills everywhere. And so we want to maybe, you know, sort of like seclude these sort of like earthen huts into the hill itself by actually sort of pushing them back in, recreating earthen holes, as you'd call them. And these are some of the ideas that we have, but we just want to sort of work with it now and really understand it. And so it's just a process in a building.
Nice.
All going to learn how to spread it onto the walls, onto the plinth, and then start building up and pairing.
Lovely.
Awesome.
Get back to it then, mate.
What we've got here is a vegan. A wild vegan appeared and has started to help with the cob mix process. So, Aline, what do you think of the pairings process?
Great.
Yeah?
I love it.
What's the best bit about it?
It's muddy.
It's muddy and it's fun. What would you rather be doing? What do you reckon, Josh?
Yep, I reckon it's good.
What do you reckon, Matt, to the cob?
I was born in the cob.
It's nice, it's organic, it's good.
Ari, what do you reckon to the pairing process? Do you enjoy it?
It's great.
Yeah? Think it's working, Ben? What do you reckon?
Cob wall here out of mud.
Yeah.
Working pretty well.
That's the noise you want. Kaboom. That's perfect.
What do you think about this this clay and straw mix that we got here on the farm? Is it working?
Yeah, it seems relatively the same. Looks the same colour. It's a good start. Definitely the right thing. Can you hear the sound?
Yep.
Oh shit. You're probably going to want to... Man, I'm like crying. Can we stop? I got a little tear. I'm like, this cob's so beautiful. Oh, no. I just can't. No, I think it's the wind. Yeah. He loves cob so much. Just hang on.
What we have here is a young Joshua taking a shit. In his normal habitat of the toilet at this time of the morning. The young Joshua is scared of the other male's presence. He sees himself as an alpha, but at this moment of vulnerability, he is definitely not.
There you go. Cob. Bit of cob. Nice. Something like that.